Benito Mussolini, the infamous leader of fascist Italy, did you know that he was initially a socialist and even worked as a journalist for socialist newspapers? It's quite a twist considering his later political stance, right? Hello there, history enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving deep into the annals of history to uncover some truly surprising and shocking facts about fascist Italy that you probably never knew. So, buckle up and get ready to be amazed. Our first fact takes us back to the early life of Benito Mussolini, the infamous leader of fascist Italy. Did you know that he was initially a socialist and even worked as a journalist for socialist newspapers? It's quite a twist considering his later political stance. In his youth, Mussolini was a firebrand socialist, passionately advocating for the rights of the working class and writing fervently for socialist newspapers, including the renowned Avanti, a publication that fervently championed labor rights and social equality. Mussolini's radicalism and commitment to socialist ideals led him to embrace anti-war sentiments, vehemently opposing Italy's participation in World War I. However, the tides of history would soon take a dramatic turn. Mussolini's disillusionment with the socialist movement grew, driven by a belief that it lacked the strength and unity needed to effect real change. This disenchantment, coupled with Italy's tumultuous post-war state and economic turmoil, catalyzed Mussolini's departure from socialism. Enter the enigma of fascism, an ideology that blended nationalism, authoritarianism, and corporatism. Mussolini's political metamorphosis was complete as he founded the Fascist Party in 1919, seeking to unite the nation under a single banner and resurrect Italy's glory reminiscent of the Roman Empire. This pivot marked a seismic shift, as Mussolini veered away from his socialist roots and embraced a radical, militaristic vision for Italy's future. The trajectory of Mussolini's ideological journey serves as a microcosm of the broader shifts that swept through Europe during the interwar period. It's a testament to the intricate interplay of personal convictions, societal upheaval, and historical context that shapes the course of a nation. Mussolini's transformation into the quintessential fascist dictator underscores the enduring power of ideology and its capacity to both inspire and distort the course of history. Fact number 2 is all about Mussolini's rise to power. He didn't seize control through a military coup as you might think. Instead, he leveraged political maneuvering and was appointed prime minister by King Victor Emmanuel III in 1922. Contrary to the popular perception of a military coup or forceful overthrow, Mussolini's rise to power was a calculated and meticulously orchestrated series of events. The watershed moment came in the form of the March on Rome in October 1922. This audacious display of political theater saw thousands of fascist supporters converging on the Italian capital, creating an atmosphere of impending insurrection. Yet, beneath the surface spectacle lay a meticulously calculated ploy. Mussolini, keenly aware of the optics and the fragile balance of power, ensured that the march did not escalate into outright violence. This artful balancing act served to both pressure and persuade King Victor Emmanuel III, who was grappling with a nation teetering on the brink of chaos. Intriguingly, the king's response to the situation revealed the depth of Mussolini's political acumen. Rather than deploying military force to quell the uprising, the king opted for pragmatism and invited Mussolini to form a government. Mussolini's appointment as prime minister in October 1922 marked the culmination of his calculated strategy, effectively positioning him as the leader of Italy through political maneuvering rather than force. This methodical rise to power underscores Mussolini's shrewd understanding of the political landscape and his ability to leverage circumstances to his advantage. It also exemplifies the complex interplay between democratic institutions, public sentiment, and the ambition of charismatic leaders. Mussolini's calculated ascent laid the foundation for his authoritarian rule and set Italy on a trajectory that would leave an indelible mark on the course of history. Now, let's talk about the power of propaganda in fascist Italy. The regime used extensive propaganda to shape public opinion and control the narrative. They even controlled cinema productions to ensure their ideology was promoted through entertainment. The intricate world of fascist propaganda that engulfed Italy during Mussolini's regime, beyond the military conquests and political maneuvering, the fascist government recognized the power of shaping public opinion through an extensive network of propaganda machinery. From captivating posters and mass rallies to controlling the content of newspapers, radio broadcasts, and even films, the fascist regime was unwavering in its quest to manipulate and control the narrative. Notably, The Ministry of Popular Culture, established in 1937, oversaw this web of manipulation, ensuring that every form of media was following the regime's ideology. Cinema, in particular, became a potent tool for propaganda. Films were carefully curated to exalt the virtues of the fascist state, glorify the military, and promote traditional Italian values. Renowned filmmakers of the time were often coerced into aligning their creative output with the regime's vision, giving rise to a cinematic landscape rife with political agendas. This orchestrated campaign of persuasion sought to create a sense of unity, loyalty, and obedience among the Italian population. The far-reaching influence of fascist propaganda was not only confined within Italy's borders but also extended to the international stage, where Mussolini endeavored to portray his regime as a formidable force to be reckoned with. Unraveling the layers of this propaganda machine offers a glimpse into the lengths to which the fascist government went to mold public perception, revealing a complex and often unsettling aspect of Italy's history during this era. Now brace yourselves for this shocking fact. Mussolini implemented a policy called the Battle for Births. To encourage population growth, families were given incentives for having more children, contributing to a population boom. This audacious policy, initiated by Mussolini's regime, was a concerted effort to stimulate population growth and consolidate the fascist vision for a resurgent Italy. In 1927, faced with concerns about the nation's declining birth rate, Mussolini launched this ambitious campaign. Families were incentivized, and sometimes even financially rewarded, for bearing more children. This went beyond mere encouragement. It encompassed a comprehensive strategy involving tax breaks, cash grants, and various privileges, all aimed at fostering larger families. The Battle for Births was a multifaceted endeavor that intertwined socioeconomic factors with ideological motivations. The regime sought to cultivate a generation of robust, loyal citizens who would contribute to the expansion of the fascist state. The ultimate goal was to bolster the Italian population, both for demographic strength and as a means of reinforcing the fascist doctrine. While this initiative did witness a temporary increase in birth rates, its success was mixed and came with societal complexities. Families were confronted with the challenge of providing for their expanded households, and some were unable to fully embrace the expectations of the state. Moreover, the policy's alignment with the regime's authoritarian agenda raises questions about the extent to which citizens' choices were influenced or coerced. The Battle for Births remains a striking example of how a regime can manipulate demographic trends to further its political ambitions. It reflects the intricate interplay between state control, societal values, and individual decisions, shedding light on a lesser-explored facet of fascist Italy's endeavors to shape its future. Did you know that fascist Italy had colonial ambitions? Fact number 5 reveals Mussolini's attempts to establish an Italian empire in Africa, leading to conflicts and clashes with other colonial powers. Often overshadowed by more prominent historical events, fascist Italy, under Mussolini's rule, harbored ambitions of creating a vast Italian empire in Africa, a pursuit that set the stage for conflicts and complexities on both the continental and global stage. Mussolini sought to revive the glory of ancient Rome by establishing a formidable presence in Africa. Italy's initial ventures included the conquest of Ethiopia in 1935-1936, a campaign fraught with militarism and the use of chemical weapons. This endeavor was characterized by its fervent nationalism and desire to attain the same colonial prestige as other European powers. However, the quest for empire was not limited to Ethiopia. Fascist Italy also targeted territories in North Africa, envisioning a vast expanse of colonies stretching from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. This expansionist ambition placed Italy in direct confrontation with existing colonial powers and ignited tensions that reverberated far beyond the African continent. Italy's ambitions led to clashes with neighboring countries and ultimately contributed to the outbreak of World War II. The Ethiopian campaign, in particular, drew international condemnation and triggered sanctions from the League of Nations, underscoring the discord between fascist Italy's ambitions and the global community's norms. The legacy of Italy's colonial pursuits is a complex tapestry, marked by a mix of military aggression, political maneuvering, and the stark realities of colonial occupation. It exposes the intricate dynamics of power, nationalism, and expansionism that shaped fascist Italy's foreign policy, leaving an indelible mark on both Italian and African history. Now prepare to be astonished by the Manifesto of Race. In 1938, Mussolini's regime issued racial laws that discriminated against Jews and other minority groups, aligning Italy with Nazi Germany's discriminatory policies. In 1938, Mussolini's government issued the Manifesto of Race, a reprehensible document that espoused virulent racism and sought to establish a hierarchy of racial purity. Under the guise of preserving Italian heritage, these laws targeted Jews, Romani people, and other minority groups, subjecting them to discrimination, exclusion, and persecution. The racial laws enacted as a result of this manifesto imposed a litany of discriminatory measures, effectively stripping Jewish citizens of their rights and livelihoods. They were barred from attending schools, pursuing certain professions, and engaging in various aspects of public life. The government's insidious campaign extended to cultural and social realms, even resulting in the expulsion of Jewish academics and professionals from universities and institutions. The chilling resonance between Fascist Italy's racial laws and the infamous Nuremberg laws of Nazi Germany underscores the alarming extent to which Italy embraced and propagated abhorrent ideologies. While these laws may not have escalated to the same genocidal scale as the Holocaust, they nonetheless unleashed a wave of suffering, indignity, and persecution on innocent individuals. The Manifesto of Race and its ensuing consequences serve as a stark reminder of the depths to which political regimes can sink in pursuit of power and ideological conformity. It's a haunting chapter that demands remembrance and reflection, highlighting the imperative of safeguarding human rights and preventing the recurrence of such horrors in our collective history. Fact number 7 sheds light on Italy's role in World War II. While they initially aligned with Nazi Germany, they later switched sides and joined the Allies, leading to a complex and controversial wartime history. The intricate web of Italy's involvement in World War II, a saga marked by shifting alliances, strategic choices, and profound consequences that reverberated across the global stage. Initially, under Mussolini's fascist regime, Italy aligned itself with Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan in the Axis powers. This alliance, forged in 1936, aimed to establish a formidable bloc with shared expansionist ambitions. However, Italy's military capabilities and strategic positioning proved challenging, leading to a series of setbacks and defeats in various theaters of war. As the war progressed, Italy's fortunes waned. The military defeats and mounting casualties eroded public support for Mussolini's leadership. In 1943, faced with internal dissent and the looming specter of invasion, Italy underwent a dramatic about-face. Mussolini was deposed, and the new Italian government, led by Pietro Badoglio, sought to negotiate a separate peace with the Allied powers. This pivotal decision marked a significant turning point. Italy signed an armistice with the Allies on September 8, 1943, effectively abandoning its Axis partners. The aftermath was chaotic. The Germans swiftly occupied Italy, leading to a dual occupation that further deepened the nation's turmoil. The complex dual occupation unleashed a maelstrom of resistance, collaboration, and internal conflict. Italian partisans waged a determined struggle against German forces, while other factions sought to collaborate for their own ends. The liberation of Italy by Allied forces in 1945 brought an end to this tumultuous period, but the scars and divisions left by the war's convoluted dynamics endured. Italy's role in World War II serves as a poignant reminder of the intricacies of geopolitics, the fragile nature of alliances, and the devastating impact of war on nations and individuals alike. The country's journey from Axis partner to Allied supporter embodies a narrative of resilience, change, and the unpredictable course of history. Our 8th revelation unveils the captivating world of fascist architecture, an art form that transcended aesthetics to become a powerful tool of political expression and propaganda during Mussolini's rule. Fascist Italy left a lasting architectural legacy. The regime promoted a style called fascist architecture, characterized by grandeur and monumentality. Iconic structures like the Euro District in Rome stand as reminders of this era. Fascist architecture, also known as monumentalism, sought to embody the regime's ideals of strength, power, and permanence through grandiose and imposing structures. This architectural style manifested itself in various forms, from public buildings to urban planning projects, leaving an indelible mark on Italy's landscape. One of the most iconic embodiments of fascist architecture is the Esposizione Universale Roma, Euro District in Rome. Conceived as a showcase of fascist achievements, the Ur district featured awe-inspiring edifices designed to evoke a sense of imperial legacy and technological advancement. The Palace of Italian Civilization, often referred to as the Square Colosseum, exemplifies this architectural grandeur, resembling ancient Roman amphitheaters while infusing modern elements. Fascist architecture was not solely a matter of design. It was deeply intertwined with ideological messaging. The regime utilized architecture to convey the idea of a unified and disciplined society. Echoing the principles of fascist totalitarianism, public spaces were carefully crafted to facilitate mass gatherings and glorify the state, often adorned with sculptures and reliefs depicting heroic figures and scenes from Italian history. Yet, this architectural legacy is marked by its controversial nature. While some architects embraced the regime's directives enthusiastically, others navigated a delicate balance between fulfilling state expectations and expressing their artistic visions. Notably, the works of architects like Giuseppe Tarigni and Luigi Moretti showcased subtle departures from the regime's dogma while retaining elements of fascist aesthetics. The monumentalism of this era underscores the regime's aspiration to reshape not only the urban environment but also the hearts and minds of the Italian people. Exploring this architectural heritage invites us to delve into the complexities of artistic freedom, state manipulation, and the enduring influence of ideology on the built environment. Let's talk about the legacy of repression. The fascist regime employed secret police and censorship to maintain control, leaving a dark mark on Italy's history that lingers to this day. Our ninth revelation peels back the layers of fascist Italy's shadowy underbelly, exposing a legacy of repression that extended its sinister grip on every facet of society. The regime's iron-fisted control, achieved through the clandestine workings of secret police, pervasive censorship, and unrelenting surveillance, left an indelible stain on the nation's history. At the heart of this system of control was the sinister black shirts, the fascist paramilitary squads entrusted with maintaining order and silencing dissent. These squads, wielding both violence and intimidation, were the enforcers of the regime's will, meting out punishment to anyone perceived as a threat to the fascist ideology. Censorship played an equally pivotal role in the regime's agenda. The Ministry of Popular Culture, headed by staunch fascist ideologue Dino Alfieri, rigorously controlled the dissemination of information, stifling any form of expression that diverged from the official narrative. Books, films, and artworks were subjected to strict scrutiny, and any hint of dissent was swiftly suppressed. The tentacles of repression extended further with the creation of the notorious OVRA, Organizzazione per la Vigilanza e la Repressione dell'Antifascismo, the secret police tasked with infiltrating opposition movements, monitoring citizens' activities, and quashing any form of resistance. This pervasive surveillance network instilled an atmosphere of fear, distrust, and constant apprehension. The legacy of repression left an enduring mark on Italy's societal fabric. With countless lives shattered and voices stifled, families were torn apart, individuals were disappeared, and the specter of reprisal hung heavy over anyone daring to challenge the regime's authority. Even after Mussolini's fall, the scars of this authoritarian regime continued to haunt the nation, shaping its post-war identity and collective memory. The legacy of repression serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which authoritarian regimes can go to maintain power and suppress dissent. It underscores the importance of safeguarding democratic principles and individual freedoms, while honoring the resilience of those who dared to resist, despite the ever-present specter of oppression. Wrapping up our list, let's explore the end of fascism in Italy. Mussolini's regime fell in 1945, leading to a tumultuous period of transition and the eventual establishment of the Italian Republic. Our 10th and final revelation takes us to a pivotal moment in history, the dramatic downfall of fascism in Italy and the birth of the Italian Republic. This tumultuous period, marked by upheaval, liberation, and political transformation, reshaped the nation's destiny in profound ways. As World War II raged on, Mussolini's grip on power grew increasingly tenuous. The mounting military defeats, coupled with internal dissent and popular disillusionment, culminated in his arrest in 1943. Italy's shifting fortunes prompted a complex power struggle that reverberated both domestically and internationally. The signing of the armistice with the Allies in September 1943 plunged Italy into a maelstrom of uncertainty. German forces swiftly occupied the country, leading to a dual occupation that intensified the chaos. Amid this turmoil, a diverse array of resistance movements emerged, ranging from partisan groups to individuals committed to opposing both fascist and German forces. The liberation of Italy by Allied forces in 1945 marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. The fall of fascism heralded a period of reckoning, as the nation grappled with its recent past and charted a new course toward democracy. In June 1946, Italians participated in a historic referendum that led to the abolition of the monarchy and the establishment of the Italian Republic. This momentous shift represented a triumph of collective will and a testament to the resilience of the Italian people. It symbolized the rejection of authoritarianism and the embrace of democratic values, laying the foundation for a new era of governance and social progress. The nascent Italian Republic embarked on a journey of reconstruction, reconciliation, and nation-building, aiming to reconcile the scars of war and forge a brighter future. The fall of fascism and the birth of the Italian Republic encapsulate the complex interplay of historical forces, the enduring spirit of human resilience, and the capacity for nations to chart a course toward freedom and self-determination. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the light of hope and the pursuit of a better tomorrow can ultimately prevail. And there you have it, folks. 10 surprising and shocking facts about fascist Italy that have hopefully opened your eyes to a lesser-known side of history. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more captivating historical content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the past.